Then I saw the black soldier fly. I just saw the post, and in anger, I was like, so what's special about this fly? So I saw someone that posted about them and was like the solution for waste. They are really interesting beings, right? They eat everything and so efficiently. Like you can literally watch them feed, watch them reduce the food.
Stick Your Neck Out, the weekly podcast of the Giraffe Heroes Foundation.
Bugs can become big business. Black soldier fly farming is presently the most widespread form of insect farming in the world. The black soldier fly is ideally suited for food production due to its rapid production cycle and high concentration of protein. Insects are the future of food, and my guest today is convinced of that. Welcome to the podcast to restore your faith in humanity. I am Jean-Pierre Aguiar Durañona, and like every Tuesday, I'm telling you the story of people sticking their necks out for the common good. My guest today is kanthari participant Tobi Adegbite from Nigeria. Farmers in Nigeria face many challenges. Because of inadequate practices, many are in debt. An additional economic and environmental problem is waste. Tobi, who studied biology, has an idea. His love for a small creature can be a key in the solution of our waste problem. Welcome, Tobi, to our podcast.
Thank you very much, Jean-Pierre.
It's really nice to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Being a passionate farmer himself, Tobi faced all the problems I mentioned before. So he found that a small insect, the black soldier fly, could be a key to a sustainable solution. So Tobi, why the black soldier fly? Why is this fly so important if they are alive only for a fleeting 6 weeks?
Before I go to the black soldier fly story and how awesome it is, I'm in love with them, by the way.
Yeah.
Before I go there, I would like to tell you about the flies a little bit and about myself.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I did not start off being a farmer, right? I started off being a public health enthusiast. I just wanted to do something to effect change, to help people, right? So growing up, I mistakenly saw a group of community experts helping people in the village and sharing mosquito nets in northern part of Nigeria. So I was intrigued. I was like, wow, what is this? This is what I want to do. So I started wanting to be a public health expert. I studied biochemistry. Went on to do environmental biology and public health at a master's level. Mm-hmm. But during my time at master's, I've always had the passion for agriculture. So I've always wanted to do it as a hobby, right? So studying environmental biology, it became a huge deal for me to see what the effect of humans on our environment is, right? I could remember during a class we were doing communicable diseases and we were doing vectors. And it's like we bring all problems on ourselves, then we complain later. I was really furious. I was like, wow. And I was surprised to see how we treat the environment, right, is directly related to the outcome of how we live our lives, to disease outbreak, to even the simple things in our lives. So this began to make me curious. So I began to talk about climate change, environmental degradation. And in that journey, I stumbled to agriculture. So I said, okay, I have to do something to make a difference. I want to do something to help my country. So I started doing agriculture, right? So during that time, I started a farm. And I wanted to do it big so like I can help everybody at the same time. I felt like, no, small is too small for me. I wanted to change the world at a go. So I got resources from everybody I could. Trust me, every single person I knew, I got resources from. So I started the 20-acre farm, right? So it was all happy-dovey at the beginning. I had like a huge plan, a huge budget. You know, being an academic myself, everything on paper was like perfect.
On paper is everything really like, wow.
It's there. It's there. So we started with a team and it wasn't what we expected. So I thought I was different from the ordinary Nigerian farmer because I got my farm. My farm was about 4 hours from the city. like really, really into the village, the core villages. And I thought I was different, right? The realities of these people would not be my reality because I'm educated, I have my plan, I have my budget. These things can happen to me. But it was shocking to see that at the end of the day, I was just like them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I ended up in debt. I was depressed. And every partner I had at that time left me. So I began to look at it and I was like, okay, I have to try again. I tried again and again I failed. Big. I started with 20 acres. Now I did 32.5 acres and I failed again. So the story of farming, especially in a third world country like Nigeria, is the same thing across board, right? It's a story of hope, depth, and hope again. So it's like hit and miss. So you try now. If it works, you are happy. If it doesn't, you are not assured. And why? How did we get here? Right? It's the farming practices that we are doing at this time. It doesn't matter how much you have. The system is designed in such a way that you have to keep giving.
Yeah, but what is the problem in the system? I mean, what is the systemic problem of the farmers in Nigeria?
So everything you have to do, you get from outside. Right now, there's a rave about circular economy. Farming right now in Nigeria is not circular at all. So from your seeds to every input you get it from outside your farm. So you are highly dependent on market forces. So your projections, all my projections then did not matter.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
Because I'm dependent on every other person to give me what I would use to make my farming success. So after this failure, I got a scholarship and went for a training in agriculture.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, intelligent move.
During this scholarship, I was furious again. I got to a place of anger again because I was being trained to do the same thing I was doing before that wasn't working. Remember, I was already a farmer before going to this training.
Yeah.
And they were training me to do the same thing over and over again. So one of those nights, I just, after the whole training, we had like a dormitory. I went there. I was furious. I couldn't sleep. I was like, what's going on? I wanted to do organic farming. It didn't work. I was like, why are they training us in the same thing? And I was just browsing off. Then I saw the black soldier fly. Just a post.
Okay. So it happened. I thought you were like, some kind of eating in a restaurant, and then you saw them like eating everything out, like really fast. You said like, oh, like in a movie, No. And then you said, okay, that's my thing. So I want to do that. So okay,
no.
that's what.
No. So I was there. I was angry, and I just saw the post, and in anger, I was like, so what's special about this fly? So I saw someone that posted about them and was like, the solution for waste, blah, blah. I was like, waste? What was it? Trust me, that midnight, I did not sleep. Throughout the night, I studied and I was amazed by what the black soldier fly does. And I was curious why nobody is looking at it. So there was where the journey started. So a few things interested me, right? The fly as it is, I know when I mentioned fly, right? Everybody's like flies.
Yeah. I just have this like buzzing around and there's this annoying kind of animal.
Yeah. This fly looks more like a wasp, right? And it doesn't fly so well. It doesn't bite, it doesn't sting, and it doesn't feed. So the fly themselves, they don't feed.
Okay.
So I can see the confusion right now.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you want to work with fly, but they don't feed, but you want them to feed from the waste.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about that and explain me like everything step by step about this fly.
So what they do is that they see a decomposing organic waste. Now I'm talking about the adult fly. I'll start from the adult, then take you back down.
Okay.
So the adult fly see a decomposing waste because they don't feed. They sense the waste, then go and find crevices, the open spaces around the waste. They lay their eggs there. Now, why they are quite intelligent beings. I'm going to be talking about them like I'm talking about a woman right now, so bear with me.
Oi, that's like.
So bear with me. They find crevices, little spaces around the waste. Now, there are a few reasons why they do this. Number one, they want their eggs, their little babies, to have access to food. Then two, they want the eggs to be protected from anything that is going to hurt them. So in between those small spaces, they lay their eggs. Right? So within 2 to 3 days, the eggs hatch. The small larvae, we call them neonates.
Mm-hmm.
When they hatch from the egg, they crawl down to the food and begin to feed.
It makes sense.
So the flies themselves don't feed. They feed at the larval stage. Now, the food they accumulate at this larval stage is what they use at adult stage.
That's why they don't feed, because they have enough before they were larvae. Okay.
So they don't live so long at adult phase. They live between 4 to 8 days. So on the average, they live about 5 days. Yeah. So let's come back to the small larvae feeding. So they feed on the waste. They grow and become prepupae. So at this stage, they stop feeding. And quite as intelligent as they are, they move away from the waste at this stage and find dry places to stay. From there, they turn to pupae. Then they emerge as adults. And the cycle continues.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like pretty simple. They lay their eggs on waste. The larvae feed on the waste, and then they grow up and they lay more eggs. That it means that, like, I was reading, I think they have like they lay like a lot of eggs. Like
I'm coming there.
Okay.
I'm coming there. So the sexy thing about them is they reproduce a whole lot. Unlike other types of flies, the black soldier fly, one female lay about 400 to 800 eggs.
Wow. That's a lot of larvae.
So on the average, they lay about 500 eggs, right? So let's say they live for 5 days and they lay eggs every day. So 2,500 eggs per fly.
Yeah.
So, and they eat double their body weight per day. So let me give you a clear example. So let's say you give me 100 kg of waste, of organic waste, let's say from your kitchen.
Yeah, okay. 100 kilogram is like food or waste for a family of 4 people, kind of.
For like a month.
Okay. So if I give you this amount of waste, how fast they are going to be? It's going to be gone if you have your flies.
So in just 12 days, they reduce this waste by 60 to 80%, depending on the type of waste.
Not bad.
They reduce it by, so let's say you give me 100 kg. At the end of the day, you have 30 or 40 kg or even 20 kg of, and what is remaining is a complete compost or organic fertilizer.
Okay, that means that what is remaining, I can just throw it back to the earth.
To the garden. Yes. So, normal composting takes like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
This does that, the whole composting process, in 12 days.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay, I can see why this fly is so important.
Now, it does it in 12 days. Not just that, the larvae themselves is food for fish, pig, poultry, and even your small ruminants like your cats, for those that have lizard as pets.
Yeah, that was actually my next question, is like, which areas of agriculture are going to benefit from this black soldier fly farm kind of?
Yeah, so I want to quickly say something about the waste treatment. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just treat waste, it does odor control. So when you start treating waste, it reduces odor. Now, it does pest control because it inhibits the growth of other types of flies. So like the normal house fly, when you have black soldier fly working somewhere, they are so jealous that no other fly is allowed to come around. So it does pest control, apart from the fact that it volarizes waste. So all these other things it does. Now I know when we are talking about organic waste, right? Because we are easy to jump to the issue of kitchen waste. And that's the whole angle at which we see organic waste, right?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, 60% of the waste in our landfills, those huge landfills we see every day, 60% of them is organic waste. As much as we think organic waste is not dangerous, organic waste in the landfill releases methane, right? And methane is about 100 times more potent than carbon dioxide in causing climate change.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
In fact, a third of climate change right now is caused by methane. You see, when our focus, most times we focus on plastic and this other source of waste, when the most dangerous guy is just sitting even in our kitchen. You get, and organic waste in landfill is really dangerous because it seeps into the groundwater, disrupts the groundwater. Organic waste in landfill is the perfect breeding ground for disease-causing organism, because you have a lot of organic process going on in the landfill. They just breed there, and surrounding communities suffer for it. Yeah, and you see, for farmers in places like Nigeria, where do the government have these landfills? In rural areas. So they come and dump the landfills there. So the surrounding communities, these farmers that are struggling, that are not making so much profits from their farms, they still suffer from landfills, from waste from like you and me that live in the city.
Yeah.
So it's a huge problem. The farmers are struggling. They have public health issues and all that. And just a small thing as a fly can help them solve this problem. Yeah, can be the solution for this problem.
That sounds amazing. So we were talking before about you said this small fly can be eaten by
the larva,
that you can feed animals with it.
Yeah, with the larva.
With the larva too. Also with the larva. Okay.
Now, it's with the larva. So the larva is what we harvest after 12 days. So let me take you through what a normal, like my facility looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So we harvest the larva after 12 days because it's huge in protein. Oh, more so, it can be eaten by humans too.
Yeah, I've read about it. I was like, okay, this guy wants me to eat this larva. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But
it's edible. It's edible. The only
have you tried? Have you tried?
Yes, I have.
And how does it taste? Like, can you describe the taste of the larva?
I liked it.
Okay, I know you like it, but how does it taste? It's like chicken, or it's like fish, or it's like snake.
A little bit more like fish, but it has its own distinct taste. So crude protein of the black soldier fly larva, depending on the type of waste, can be between 35% even to 60%. So it's like a protein diet for you.
Yeah, sounds great.
So the only limitation to me and you eating the larva is the type of waste we treat with it. So if we treat our own kitchen waste with it, then there's no problem. It's your food.
Well, that if your food is like a proper one, you know?
No. Okay, that's one exciting thing about it. The gut of the larvae is so, I don't know how it is created. It's so efficient that it does disease control itself. So, like from research, like disease causing organisms like E. coli, Salmonella is controlled by the larvae. So at the end of the day, you don't have that in the larvae.
Okay.
Even if you had it in your food.
That's okay. Amazing.
Even heavy metals is controlled. The amount of heavy metals found in the larvae is below the limit that we can eat.
So, but your idea is to harvest them, to give it to the people to feed as food for the people, or you wanted to do it just for the animals, or you want to make like some kind of mix thing? So
for us, we are focused on using this for the Nigerian farmers, right? Because there's a whole business angle to this. I just mentioned its use for food, right? There's also oil extracted from it. from this process.
Okay.
So the oil is high in omega-3 fatty acid, lauric acid, just like the coconut oil.
Which is a really good one, huh?
Yeah. So there are other opportunities. Can be used for biodiesel. The whole process can be used for biogas. Some of my mentors use it for chitin, CHITIN. Melanin is also extracted from it. All these are possibilities that we have in the process. But for us, what is important for us is how can this affect the life of the Nigerian farmer?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would love to hear. You are trying to solve environmental problem that the world faces. And something I read about you, you said like these kind of problems, you don't need words, it requires action.
Yes.
So, and you are ready to act. How are you planning exactly on doing that, on solving this problem?
So we have a model we want to use, right? And we call it the deal model. So for us, the D is to demonstrate. So we want to show, like these farmers, through our facility, that this process actually works. So you can treat waste from your farms with this process. You don't need to get resources from outside, right? Then the E is experiential learning. So we bring farmers in communities around our treatment facility and even out and about to our facility to learn about this process, from receiving waste, how to handle waste, how to raise the black soldier fly, how to use it to treat their waste, how to process the larvae and other organic manure that they get from the process. Then the A is adoption, and that is the most important part of our whole process. Right. So we want these farmers to adopt this technology and integrate it on their farms. And why do we want them to do this? So right now, 70% of the total cost of production, right, for farmers, 70%, minimally, 70% of the total cost of production for poultry and fish farmers is just on feed. And so what does this do? It reduces the overall production cost of the farmer by up to 25%. So what are the resources you need to produce this additional feed for your, this natural feed for your birds or for your fish? You need resources on your farm, waste produced from your farm.
Yeah, of course.
So you don't need to go outside. You don't need to depend on anybody to feed your birds. How more easy can it be?
Yeah, it's quite simple. The thing is that you have to, first of all, think about that.
So for the Nigerian farmer, what we want to see is that they themselves adopt this technology, right? And integrate it on their farm using waste generated from their farms to feed their own birds, their own fish, their own pig, reducing their production costs. So they can even farm with dignity. They can make some income for themselves, for their family. And an additional benefit to it is we don't need a lot of waste management. They are now agents of waste management themselves. So we are not going out and about teaching people that you need to manage your waste. Waste is now a resource for them on the farm. I'm sure for farmers that adopt this process, you can't take a pound of waste out of their farm because it's a resource.
Yeah, it sounds like a really nice plan. So your idea is not only to do it yourselves, but also to show other farmers how to do it and like
yes.
to spread the word, kind of.
Yes. Then we want to support them. We want to help them design tailored integration methods for their own farm so they can integrate it. Now, this makes their farm circular. Now, for me, I really don't believe in high-level, big buzzwords, circular economy, all this. It can be simplified for the ordinary farmer. It can be simplified for the ordinary citizen.
But is this profitable for you? Like, I mean, if you show the people to do the thing you are doing and they start to doing it and they start to get profitable by themselves, what about you?
Okay, that is one exciting part. So my city alone produces about 83 tons of waste per day. That is 83,000 kg of waste per day, just my locality, of organic waste per day. This is not the waste produced by just this local, small and medium scale farmers. So for us, the resources is not just resources for the farmers alone. The waste abound.
Okay.
Now, the model of the world right now is for everybody to accumulate as much as they can for themselves. That's what we want to change with the society right now. Because for us, we want these farmers to adopt this technology for themselves, but we are also producing, and there are a million of other farmers out there that needs this. The market is so much that even if we start processing all the whole waste in my city right now, we can't meet the demand. So for us, the market is huge. It's huge because we have feed millers, those that does feed for poultry, fish, and pig production. It's crude protein, right? And it's a replacement for fish meal and soya meal.
Okay.
It's projected that by 2050, 2060, there will be no more fish in the river.
Okay.
And why? It's not as if we take all these fish for us to eat. If we are just taking fish for us to eat, there's enough to go around, right?
Yeah.
We take this fish for the animals that we raise to feed. So this fish meal is what is used to make animal feed, like for poultry, for fish, and so that would be replaced by the insect meal that we are taking from waste. So for these farmers, is either fish meal or soya meal.
It's a really, really nice business model. Kind of, I'm trying to get a picture of how the farm is going to look like. Like, can you describe it? Like, I imagine some place on the white canvas and the sound of thousand buzzing insects. And what does the insect version of a farm look like?
Okay, so let me take you through.
You remember this is a podcast, so that people cannot see. So you have to be creative and you have to try to describe it so that the people can imagine how does it look like for the people to be there.
Okay, so when you come into our farm, the first thing you see is a cage of buzzing flies.
So like I imagine. Okay.
Like you imagined, Wesley.
Okay.
It's a cage of buzzing flies, really buzzing and enjoying themselves. And you remember I told you the flies don't feed, right?
Yeah.
So you just see flies mating. I hope you are ready for that.
Okay.
So we have a cage full of flies mating, giving us eggs. So we take the eggs. What we do is really simple, right? We mimic the natural environment for these flies. So we don't do anything. We don't tamper with their natural system.
Okay.
We create green areas for them to rest. There's an attractant, like the waste that they can smell to come and lay eggs. So what we do is we mimic these crevices that they lay their eggs. We have what we call the eggies.
Okay.
So we keep the eggies there. They come and they lay their eggs there. As easy as that. So every morning we come and we collect our eggs.
Okay. Dear listener, if you could see what I'm seeing is like this guy has like this sparkling eyes right now, and he's really enjoying that what he's describing. So he's really enjoying it, and I'm also enjoying this talk. It's really amazing. So you're going to take the eggs from this place, and you're going to put it somewhere else, or
So we take it out. While the flies continue mating, we take it to another unit where we take care of these eggs. They are babies at this time. So we take care of them. We give them the perfect environment. Yeah. We give them the perfect. Yeah, really small, cute babies. We keep them. We allow them to hatch.
Yeah.
So after they hatch, at this place, you see in small containers, you see little neonates, like we call them. So we allow them eat for 5 days. So at 5-day-old larvae, they are good to go and feed.
Okay.
So we now take them out to our treatment area. Now, the treatment area, let me paint a picture for you. It's a huge area. So what we do is vertical. So we have stacks of containers.
Like a normal waste container.
Yeah, normal waste container, like a 12 kg container, stacked on each other. Let's say 7-8 steps. So you have waste inside. Then you take this 5-day-old larva and pour it on the waste and leave them to do what they would do naturally.
Okay.
So they feed, they begin to eat and eat and eat and eat there. Then we add food for them every day. So the routine is I come to the farm every morning. I have my guys harvesting egg. I just go and feed my
Your babies? Just tell it. It's like, okay, your babies.
Yeah. So I come, I feed my babies. They feed. Then we allow them feed for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
After 10 days, we separate the waste from the larvae, right? But we keep a little of them. We keep about 5% of that to continue feeding.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Why?
Right? The 5% will feed, so they give us another. The cycle continues, so they become the adults that lay new eggs for us.
Okay, just 5%. And do you think that with 5% of this, you manage?
Remember, I said one lays about 500.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Eggs.
Right. Yeah.
So the 5% is even overreaching. Because it's not one to one.
Yeah, it's a reasonable number. Yeah.
So we leave that so that the cycle can continue, so that the cage will still be there and they will mate. Then the harvested one we now process. The processing is not something difficult. You just dry them, then you can feed them. You can feed them like that live to your birds.
Yeah, okay.
Or you can dry and process. Then the residue that we separate from the larva, that is now fertilizer that can be used for your garden, for your farms and all that. That's all.
No, that sounds simple. I mean, you make it sound simple. So you also,
it's really simple. The way nature works, right? Yeah. I don't think nature wants to complicate anything.
No. It's definitely like it's really a simple thing to understand. I mean, it's really it's a really nice business opportunity. So
we don't work with farmers alone. Right, because for us, our main focus is the farmers, because we want to see. I've been there, right? For me, probably I have friends, I have families that I can fall back on and cry. I have shoulders I can cry on. My friend here is a psychologist. I have people I can run to and cry. But for these rural farmers, they don't have nobody.
Yeah.
So even
it's a really healthy and sustainable. Change what you are offering.
So for them, it's not because we want them to do it. It's a need for them. It's a need for them to reduce their production costs, to be able to live with dignity. So like I said, we are not working with farmers alone. So it's a business opportunity for young entrepreneurs and people that want to make money off this. And they can attract the flies themselves. Maybe I'll share pictures with you. Here at Kanthari, we attracted the flies here. We treated waste with it.
Okay. Yeah, how do you do that?
So it's understanding nature. It's understanding how it works. So everything you can try it at home.
Yeah,
so
let's do it. I'm gonna try it at home. So what should I do in order to to have this fly at my place?
So what you do, take a bowl of waste.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe 1 day old. So it started decomposing.
Mm-hmm.
So take it outside, right? Your house, an open area.
Yeah.
Make sure there's a little bit of greenery, maybe a tree around the place, and there's access to sunlight.
Well, in Germany, in winter, sunlight, different.
That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem.
But okay, let's see. We are in Germany in summer, and we have a lot of sun. And I would
yeah. So take it outside. So get let's say a plywood, just maybe 2 wood. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you, but the people listening, they can't. So you have to describe.
Okay. On each other, just put the plywood on each other.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And use maybe a broom or a pin to create, before you place one on the other, put a pin at each edge.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? You know, when you place the other one there's a little space between.
It's like a small box, like we're creating. Okay, like some kind of a box for bees, kind of.
No. So let me explain it. Okay. So you have a bowl outside. So take 2 plywood like this size, like 3 centimeter by 10 centimeter.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. Then take a pin or a broom and put it at one end of the wood and the other end. Right. Then place another wood on top.
Okay. Okay,
You
now
know,
I
when
see.
you do that, there's a space between both plywood that you just placed on each other because of the broom at each end, right?
Yeah.
Then take this that you have, put it on that container of organic waste. When you do that, just wait.
And just
see.
wait. But what about other flies? I mean, what if you don't have these flies in your like environment? Or do we have all of them? I mean, everyone has this fly in their environment.
It's mostly in the tropics and subtropics, but it's everywhere in the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's everywhere in the world. But you can find more information on our website, entojutu.org. But it's really something easy that you can do. Maybe after this call, we can talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's something you can do at home to treat your own kitchen waste. And let's say you have a cat at home. You don't have to buy a lot of food for the cat anymore from your kitchen. And it doesn't take a lot from you. You don't have to do anything. For you, you don't need to have a cage. Why we have that is because we want to have consistent production.
Yeah,
because of days where there is no sun and all that. But for you at home, you can just let nature do its course. What you just have to do is scrape off the egg, pour it in your waste, and they eat your waste. You take the larvae and feed it to your cat. Your cat is good.
Speaking about the cages, insects are typically not considered domestic animals, requiring farmers to pay expensive annual certification fees and subject to tight restrictions limiting their ability to move and trade insects and insect products. How is the situation in Nigeria with this particular fly?
I think even in Europe, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, it's easing down a bit. But in Nigeria, there's no regulation against insect farming as it stands now. There's no regulation against it. That we are lucky in that sense. There's no regulation against it. Yeah. So with that, we are cool.
And how about the so-called colony collapse? What I mean with this colony collapse thing is like a sudden and unexpected biological die of a larvae that can disrupt and even shut down a plant operation for months on end. What is your backup plan in that case?
This is not just only for the cage, even for our treatment area, right? So that is why we decided to farm vertically. So we have them in boxes. So if there's an infection, you can easily single out, okay, this is the box, the treatment container that is infected. You can separate, more like in COVID cases, you isolate. And you can deal with the problem. Yeah. But may I say that the black soldier fly is really, really rugged. Like you can say I'm saying this because I'm in love with them. But they are really rugged. Sometimes they surprise me.
Why are you so in love with these animals?
Probably when you start farming them in your kitchen, you understand what I see every day. They are really interesting beings, right? They eat everything. Maybe because I like food too.
I mean, I also like food. But
they eat everything and so efficiently. Like you can literally watch them feed, watch them reduce the food. Just they move like this and you watch them reduce the food just in your eyes. Feed whilst you watch. It's really interesting to see, trust me.
That's amazing. Going back to the black soldier fly business, what are the biggest problems you've got to face on the field when you decide to run a black soldier fly business?
Where do you want me to start from? Because there are a lot. There are a lot. A whole lot. Remember I told you I was an academic?
Yeah.
And I started from a purely academic point of view, from the textbooks to trying to do pilots. So I read, I watched videos, and I did all that. And trust me, I had this partner. She's still with me now, Esther. So she's an artist, and she got excited and she joined me. So we tried attracting the flies. Trust me, what she identified as the black soldier fly was the dragonfly, and we're excited. It's funny now, but then it was not funny because we spend days. No, it's part of the learning process. That's just a joke. But learning on field, you see that a lot of things is not as it is in the textbooks, right? We've had times where we've had an attack from soldier ants.
A black soldier fly. That sounds like a war.
It was a war because the first day I was not around, and it was really painful because that was the first time we're having like our nursery functioning, our insectarium with flies. It was really heartbreaking. I cried.
Oh.
Because we had that. And the second time, I think after we dealt with the soldier ant, the flies refused to mate.
Okay.
So we had flies, but they were not mating.
Because they were feeling uncomfortable or what?
Yeah. So there's a space requirement.
Okay.
Right. So that's why you remember initially I said I don't want to go to a lot of details. There's space requirements. We discovered that temperature and the humidity that is there is not enough. So we had to like learn the hard way.
Learning by doing.
And that is why I want to like take our farmers through that same method, because I see that most times these things, you see people training people on how to blah, blah, just one day high level training with PowerPoints and all that. It doesn't work. That's why you see that these solutions, they don't go, you see people talking about it all the time, but on ground, nothing happens. Because when the farmers try it, they hit these brick walls that they don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah,
because they've not done it before. You've just shown them through PowerPoints and all that. So that is one of the reasons why we developed our deal model. Because we've been there and done that. We've had flies not mating. Securing is a constant source of waste. Oh God, you cannot imagine the things we've been through. Like, imagine you have flies, you have larvae, you are happy, but the next day you have an agreement with a restaurant and they are not. The next day they tell you like, no, the manager said you can't take our waste anymore, blah, 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 and all that. So you have to start all over again and try to look for another source of waste where you can just make one or two different decisions, and all this but we learned the hard way. I don't want our farmers to go through all this. We are going to. So that is one of the, and also I started this about 3 years ago. So I think I have to say that. So it's been a little bit of time coming, right? And I have a few friends that are doing this that I think have the resources that we trained, and they are doing this. So we are opening up the market. There's a lot of acceptance already on this. There are a lot of people like accepting. We have farmers incorporating already, integrating this into their farms, and they're excited about it. Though the problem now is we don't have the production capacity to support their everyday need. Yeah. So they're just using it as a supplement for now. So it's a challenge that we don't have a lot of people like on hand to produce. We don't have like a lot of people to work with to produce. I hope that we have the resources to get a lot of youths on board, because we need their energy. Somehow, I somehow pray never to get old, because I enjoy I enjoy the youthful energy. I think we need a lot of youths to get on board, so we can do this like, and it will be a normal thing. All those, we hope we are going to find methods to make production simpler and less cost demanding. So I believe that in due time, when we talk in 1 or 2 years, like you said, we are going to have all this figured out. I know we are not going to solve all the problems or the challenges.
You can't solve everything, you know?
Yeah, but I know that a lot of progress would have been made. I pray that we get partners and collaborators to help us achieve this.
And I'm pretty sure you are going to. There is a Dr. Terry Green from Oregon in the United States, and he runs Deep Terra LLC, and he's dedicated to... Do you know him?
Yeah.
Have you heard about him? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So he's dedicated to advising practical and scientific knowledge regarding the discovery and implementation of beneficial ways of working with the black soldier fly. Recently, he wrote an article where he essentially says that in the BSF, I mean the black soldier fly industry, enthusiasm and interest are much more consistent than scientific know-how, researches and industrial processes. What do you think about that?
So this is a very interesting question, right? Because for me, I was in the academics for a while. I told you I did my master's in environmental biology.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking the question. Actually, exactly. That's why.
I have a few publications on phytoremediation and things like that. Online, you can check them out too.
Just give me the links, and the listeners, they can look on the show notes, and they can also have the chance to read them. Just send me the links, and I'll put it on the show notes.
Okay. So for me, especially for treatment centers in Africa, we need, and like every other thing, there's a gap in research, right? So for me, we are going to be doing a lot of research on how to optimize systems. But for us, we because we are focused on the farmers, we want to look at how we can make affordable changes, little changes here and there, using our scientific know-how to see how to improve operations and improve system, but not tampering with nature.
Yeah.
Because for me, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's also like difficult not to end up in the mass tier production, like even though they are bugs or they are like flies. If you have too much of them into less space, it's pretty easy to end up like abusing them. How can you control that? Is it possible to control that?
So that is one of the reasons why we are using our adoption model, right? So that we are not just the only one doing it, and the pressure is so much on us to do it. Every farmer can do it in their farms rather. So they can do it in their farms and treat even the small waste they produce and get waste from their community, and they treat it. So we are not, I don't want to talk about capitalist and all that here.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into that
This
discussion.
is another podcast,
yeah. So for us, it's not just about us. It's about the community. It's about how the life of the ordinary farmer can go from this rampant and this circle of hope, debt, and hope again, and debt again, and this struggle, how they can work with nature. And one thing it's really interesting for me is that there's this thing this process does that it has done to me, right? And I want to see it happen to other farmers, because it can open your mind to look into nature, right? To see what other possibilities are there for me in nature. There are other farmers that are interested in farming crickets as other alternative source of protein for their farm. Nature offers us a whole lot. So why are we not doing that? So knowing that, okay, this flies has done this for me, it can open up the mind of that ordinary farmer to see, okay, how can I the energy needs of my farm, can I use the black soldier fly to deal with them? Can my family cook with biogas from my black soldier fly? So even the little things in their life, and I think that's how change can happen.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's not talking about climate change and talking about circular economy at the highest level. It's what can it do for us? How can we incorporate these ideas in our day-to-day life? So for me, we are using black soldier fly as a leeway, as a foot in the door for these farmers, so they can look into nature and see other things that they can take from nature, work with nature. I wouldn't want to say take from nature, that they can work with nature to achieve, to make them live sustainably. So for us, and back to the question, I think there's need for a lot of research, and we are not going to shy away from doing that. The need is there, and I'm happy that I'm an academic and I have research background.
That's important.
So I'm not going to leave that and be enthusiastic about what this can do. What more can we do? What other processes can we incorporate? For instance, when I go back to Nigeria right now, I want to see how I can incorporate this with cricket farming, how we can try to make a complete feed using insect meal and other ingredients that are naturally available. So we don't even have to deal with anything. Producing soya beans has done a lot for us. Look at the Amazon forest, for instance.
Yeah.
The amount of trees destroyed.
Yeah.
We cry every day that these things should stop. But what other alternatives do we have? So this has opened my... So there's a lot of research going on that I don't want to talk about right now.
No, but it's really nice to listen to it, you know. It's also really nice to see that you are thinking about that.
Yeah, but they are all nature-based solution for the farmer. So we are not doing high-level things that will end up in publications alone. I've done that in the past. I don't want to do that anymore. What I want to do is research that is based on needs of these farmers, on our needs, how we can, so that sustainability will be the reality for everybody, not just words.
I wish you all the best, and I hope we can talk in a year or two again, and let's see how is everything going. But now I want to go back to your organization, to you two. What do you consider are the biggest threat to your business?
Thank you for this question. All right. So for us, we see that the insect industry, especially here in Africa, it's still emerging, and there's going to be a pushback. There's going to be a pushback, fake reports and all that, because there are a lot of people making money from soya beans and maize and fish meal and all that right now, and we are not competing with them, but we are creating an alternative. So we expect that people will fight back, right? So for us is to make sure that everything we are doing is research-based. Everything we are doing, we are working with the farmers. We are not doing it from high level. And we are going to make sure that our legalities and all that is in check, so that when these things come, at least we'll be in a better place to deal with them, because we know they would come.
But why are they going to, why should happen something like that?
So for instance, the price of fish meal now, oh God, I'm trying to convert to dollars in my head.
Do it with euros now.
I'm thinking of Naira right now. So let me just say, the price of insect meal right now is like 50% the price of fish meal, because the price of fish meal is going up every day. Just last year, it went up about 130%.
Okay, wow.
And it has not stabilized. It's still going up. Right? A lot of friends of mine that have poultry farms have closed down because they cannot survive, coupled with COVID and the restrictions and all that. So they cannot survive. Like what we are doing now, it's not even what we like. It's not a wish for us. It's a need for the farmers. It's something that like we have to do for them
in order to survive.
So, in order for at least for them to remain sustainable. So this is an alternative, and this hike in price is an opportunity for some people to make money.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So we expect a pushback, but I'm saying now that we are going to be ready when they come. And still in that vein, those people pushing back, they have a lot of access to the authorities that be. Right now, there is not a lot of regulation for or against insect farming. But I hope that in years to come, we are going to be strong enough to be able to work with regulating bodies to see that we work with them and not against them, and they work with us and not against us too. So those are major challenges. And one other challenge, and it's a general challenge for agriculture in my country right now, is insecurity. Right now, apart from the cost of feed and all that, for the farmers, because we are going to be working in the remote areas of the country, and there's like this how do they call it, clash between herders and farmers and all that, and it's really huge. I hope that goes down in years to come. It's a huge threat it's not just for us, for the whole farming industry in the country. And I see that our government is working and they're trying their best to curb that. I hope that everything works out. Everybody around me particularly is even scared. That's why do you want to go to these villages and work when it's not secure and all that? Your life is in danger and all that. But we have to do what we have to do. We have to do it. So I hope that everything that the government is putting in place works, and we don't have this crisis, and it doesn't become like a major thing.
Yeah,
That's a huge threat, not just for us, not just for my firm, for other agricultural firms and food producers. So I hope that it becomes better.
I hope that too. So speaking of this agriculture, these people you want to support, to also to help. Do you think they are going to be open enough to to work with you? Like, do you think the people are going to be open to work with this fly?
Okay.
And eat it too?
So the eating part for humans, I don't think we'll go there now in Nigeria. I don't think we are going there now. But that's a very important question. And I was thinking of that as an academic at the beginning. Even being a farmer, I was thinking, do people... I've done a little bit of poultry farming, fish farming, but I've seen that, okay, if you ask a normal fisherman, do you fish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to catch a fish, what are the easy things you do? You either put a fly at the end of the
of the hook.
Or you put a maggot there.
Yeah.
Right? So is using maggots for fish, is it new to you?
No.
So same it is for the farmers.
So that's your approach. So that's how you are going to convince them. Okay,
so
you're going to convince the fisherman. But what about the
poultry farmers?
The poultry farmers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for the poultry farmers, even right now during rainy season, they supplement, because when it's raining, where they keep their waste becomes wet, and you see a lot of housefly maggots.
Yeah.
They use those maggots already, though unsustainably, and they can't get it all year round. They use those maggots for now to just supplement their feed. They know that they get it at that time. They use it to cushion whatever it is they have. So right now it's us taking that they already know to them, that you can do this all the year round and use it to reduce your own production costs using this method. So I see these farmers in years to come, not just using this on their farm, getting biogas from it, using it as extra source of income. For poultry farmers, there's fertilizer to be sold to crop farmers. So there's an additional source of income for them. So if, apart from that, the fact that it helps them in their day-to-day farming activities, they can still get extra source of income. So it's encouraging enough to make them want to get on board with us.
Sounds awesome. So Toby, you were cooking this whole project in this kanthari entrepreneurship course you have been doing. What comes next for you?
That's the big question. That's the big question. So, because for one thing that I would say about the process that I've gone through for the past few months, it makes you have a foot on ground. It's like it makes you it makes doing easy, because you have everything you need to be able to go forward. Right. Apart from the finances now, the organizational structure, pitching, relationship, how to manage relationship with supporters, how to really collaborate, not work with anybody from like top-down approach, collaborate with people with same vision, carry people along, write proposals, write reports, talk to people. Like we've been cooked. Let me say it that way. We've been cooked in the past few months, and it's really, really good. And for us coming henceforth, I already have a team on ground at home that we've started work already. We have like a little pilot facility we have, but right now we want to move to a new facility. We are looking, and right now I want to use this opportunity to say, for every collaborator, partners, we are open. Because we need for projects like this, there's need for resources.
Yes, definitely.
For us to get through to these farmers. The expertise we have, the will we have, we want to do this not because we want to help the farmers per se, like be a savior, but it's something we want to do. I'm part of my beneficiaries because I'm a farmer too. I've been there. So right now we hope, really hope that we get supporters. What we want to do is clear. We don't have the whole resources on the ground right now, but we are clear about what we want to do. And we hope that more people come on ground, because we don't want to see another farmer go into depression. We don't want to see another farmer commit suicide. We don't want that. And we know it's a need. We have to start now. Sometimes, being a founder of an organization, it's like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, right? Because if you have the whole resources, this is what you do. Unfortunately, the resources is not always there, but we want to stay on course. We know that the resources will come. We know that partners that can collaborate with us to help these farmers would come on board with us. It's a social enterprise. We are going to help the farmers, and we are focusing on the farmers because either ways we are going to help the environment. And I want to say this about kanthari. I came here as an environmentalist with focus on the environment. Before now, this whole podcast, I would be telling you about the climate change potential of organic waste. I'll be telling you about the environmental impact of organic waste, public health impact, how it's on a larger level affects climate change. I will be telling you about methane. I will be telling you about, that's all I would have been talking about. But it's not about the environment alone right now. Either ways, we are going to be, the core of our work is doing this for the environment. That's one change transformation that has happened to me in kanthari. So our focus is on the farmers. And imagine that we focus that we want to do this alone. And we get, let's say, $1 million to do it, right? And we treat, let's say, 5 tons of waste per day. Let's say at the end of the year, we do 5 times, or at the end of the month, we do 5 times 20. We do about 1,000 tons of waste. That's everything we can do. But on the other hand, imagine we train 50 farmers in a year, and they do 500 kg of waste.
It's a really nice butterfly effect.
So what do you think happens? How many tons are we doing as a unit?
I mean, I was really bad in math, but I can imagine this is a lot.
So imagine, our approach initially is that we want to do this alone. We are going to grow too. We are going to have like a facility that can do enough. We are going to try to contribute as much as we can to the environment. But we see that we cannot do it alone.
No, of course not.
So for us is to make help these farmers to adopt these technologies so they can grow, and we can have this spiral effect where when we look at it at the end of the year, and maybe we'll call up our farmers and we take a report of the amount of waste treated, I believe we will be wowed. Even us from our end will be wowed, not to talk about our collaborators or people that are going to be working with us. And we hope that we inspire people to look for other solutions or incorporate this solution. Because somebody asked me a question a few days ago, and it was like, what if somebody starts the same thing that you are doing beside you and all that? And I was just laughing. I was like, so what? It's good. I'll be happy. I'll send some farmers to their facility so they will help us train. I'll collaborate with them so it's more people in the system trying to make change. For me, it's
the best thing that can happen.
It's the best thing that can happen because I don't see us competing. I don't see competition. I see an opportunity for us to collaborate. So looking at us right now, between now and January and February and the months to come, we hope that we get collaborators, that we get people that sees our vision and that are ready to jump on board, not because they want to. We want people that we can work with, that we can work together to make sure we see the change we want to see in the lives of the farmer and in the environment.
And you're going to manage to do it. Tobi, I could spend another 2 hours talking to you about all these topics and so on. But I know your time is small, my time too. So first of all, thank you for your time. was really, really amazing, this talk, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
If black soldier fly larvae could enter competitive eating contests, they will excel, especially when it comes to eating nasty stuff that we don't want around or wouldn't think of eating ourselves. The ability of the black soldier fly to convert low-grade organic waste into high-quality nutrients has opened up a groundbreaking prospect for the large-scale production of animal feed. The high protein content of insects provides an immense opportunity to develop sustainable technology for the production of animal feed at a low cost. Kanthari participant Tobi from Nigeria knows that. And there we are at the end of the podcast to restore your faith in humanity. You'll find the stories of people sticking their necks out, the stories of the Kanthari alumni, and also stories of Kanthari participants every Tuesday on Spotify, iTunes, our homepage, and every other place where you get your podcast. And if you subscribe, you don't have to look out for us. We'll be coming to you. Dear listeners, if there is a friend, a family member, an organization, or someone you know who is doing a great work for the community, someone sticking their necks out, just nominate them as a giraffe hero or tell us about them. Leave a comment, come and visit us at giraffe-heroes.eu. My name is Giampiero Giarduragnola, and I hope you join us also on our social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, but more importantly, I hope you join us again next week.
Stick Your Neck Out, the weekly podcast of the Giraffe Heroes Foundation.